Hello everyone, welcome to Code to CloudX. So in our previous video, we have built a simple Spring AI applications, right? That communicates with an OpenAI based large language model, LLM. So throughout this course, we will continue using OpenAI for most of our examples because it is very easy to work with. We don't need to worry about infrastructure setup and we can directly communicate with OpenAI using their REST API. So, however, in real world enterprise environments, things can be little different. What is different? So, many organizations are not comfortable sending their proprietary data or sensitive information to cloud-based LLM providers. So, because of security, compliance, and data privacy concerns, they often prefer running AI models locally within their own infrastructure. To address these needs, the industry provides several options that allow developers to run open source large language model locally. So one of the most popular tools for this is Ollama, right? So with Ollama, developers can easily run open source LLM models directly on their local machines or within their organization's infrastructure. So there are several advantages to do this approach. So you your data stay within your own network. Another one is there are no external API calls since everything runs locally. And we don't incur model usage charges because the model is running on your own machine. So many popular open source models such as Llama, Mistral, and others can be running using Ollama. So getting started with Ollama is also very straightforward. What you have to do? You need to visit the Ollama website and click on the download Ollama options and you have as you click on this download Ollama you have to choose your operating system. As I am using Windows operating system, so I have clicked on this Windows and now I will click on download for Windows. So I have already downloaded it. So for you only you have to click on this and it will be downloaded on your machine. Then you can install it, right? So once the installation will be complete, we can start running and managing LLM models locally. Go to the model section on the Ollama website, right? So as per the popularity, you will get the multiple models. So if I will select on this, so you can found that it's about 14 GB size. If I will check another one, so you can see the size of this model is 52 GB, 85 GB. So the larger the number of parameters, the more powerful the model generally is. So you can understand about this size that the larger number of parameters, the more powerful the model will be. So however, running such a huge model locally is usually not possible on a normal laptop or desktop. So for those large models, you would typically need high CPU servers in cloud environment like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. Okay. So for this demo, actually, I will use a smaller and lightweight version of the Llama model. So if you will search Llama, okay, just search Llama. So you will find multiple models. So here I am using a smaller one, which will be suitable for running on a local machine. So if you will see the size is around 2 GB, 1.3 GB, 2 GB. So right now I am choosing Llama 3.2. So to install and run this model using Ollama, we just need to copy the command. So what you have to do to install and run this model using Ollama, what we have to do, we just need to copy this command, okay, and you have to run this. So simply we have to run this command what we copied As soon as we execute this command, Ollama will start downloading the model from the internet. So since I have already tested this model before, it is already available in my system. If you can see, it's already available in my system. It's already installed, right? So it's already installed. So, but if you are running this command for the first time, so it will take few minutes to download the model depending on your internet speed. So once the download is complete, Ollama will automatically set up the model locally and will be able to run and interact with LLM directly from our system. You can check version which the model version which we stored, it's working fine or not. If you will ask any questions, who is the Prime Minister of India? So the current Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. He has been serving as the Prime Minister since May 2014. Right? That this confirms that our Ollama setup is working correctly and the LLM models is running successfully on our local system. So now the next step is to integrate this Ollama model with our Spring AI application. So to demonstrate this, I have created a new project called Ollama, and this project is actually a copy of our existing project OpenAI we created in our previous video. So if we open the pom.xml, currently we have the dependency, right? OpenAI. But since we now want to use the Ollama instead of OpenAI, we need to replace this dependency with Spring AI starter model Ollama. Ollama. We'll open the application.properties file. So currently this file contains OpenAI API key configurations. Since we are no longer using OpenAI and the LLM, we are no longer using OpenAI. So we can safely remove these OpenAI related properties. Okay, Ollama. So now we need to define a couple of new properties related to Ollama model, LLM, Ollama LLM model. So the first property is spring.ai.model.chat, and here we are using Ollama. So this property tell the Spring AI framework that Ollama will be used as the chat provider. And the second property is used to specify which model is running locally. So next property will be spring.ai.ollama.chat.options.model, and I can copy and model name will be same what we have downloaded, right? Just copy this one and paste it here. After that, just build your code, Maven clean install. So now once the build is completed, we will start our applications, Ollama Spring Boot applications, right? So if you will see my edit configurations, so this is the main Spring Boot applications. You can check here. So only I changed the name as it is. All controller class are as it is. We didn't make any changes. So now it's started. So one more thing here in application.properties file, here behind the scene actually what's happening, the application will now try to communicate with the Ollama based LLM model which are running locally. So actually this communication happens through the default Ollama based URL. So by default, Spring AI looks for Ollama at spring.ai.ollama.base hyphen URL, and URL will be http colon localhost colon 11434. So this is default port where the Ollama service is running. If you want to check the same, we can check here. Just you will click localhost and default port is 11434. So if you will click on that, so you will get the response 200. We are getting means our local Ollama models which are running locally, it's working fine. So we don't require to add this because it's running in our local system. But yeah, however, if your local Llama model is deployed on a different server or a different machine, then you need to configure it using it properly. Okay, so in that case, we don't require to add this one. You can delete this one. It's not required. Okay, so now the application has started successfully. Let's we go to the Postman and we test our API. So what is your name? I'm asking simply. So I got the response. I am an artificial intelligence model known as Llama, and Llama stands for Large Language Model Meta AI. So this confirms that our Spring Boot applications is successfully communicating with LLM model which are running locally, right? So right now I am running a smaller open source LLM models that supports around 1 billion parameters. So, however, if you have access to large server with high CPU capacity, you can deploy much larger models. Some models support hundred of billions of parameters, for example, 370 billion parameters or more. So generally, the larger the number of parameters, the more powerful the model becomes, and the better quality response that can generate. So, however, for most development purpose, for learning, testing, quick demos, unit testing scenarios, these smaller LLM models are usually sufficient. So everything we discussed about Ollama setup and integration with Spring AI is also we have already done. So everything we discussed about Ollama setup and integrations with Spring AI. So by using Ollama, we can easily run open source LLM models locally and integrate them with our Spring Boot applications without relying on external cloud-based AI services.